Hello everybody, Pineapple here. So today I wanted to take a look back at Goaty and one of the more interesting variants, and that is Spright. So if you're wondering where the synergy lies, it's simple. The tuners are level 2, and it doesn't matter how they're summoned on your opponent's turn, as long as they are summoned on your opponent's turn. Meaning if you use Elf to bring them back, they're always online, you can grab them with Gigantic, etc, etc. Additionally, you aren't aiming to Synchro summon on your turn, meaning you can just go through basic Spright plays as an almost always game plan with searching some of your Goaty cards. So with that, let's hop into the card by card. First up, the Biz deals, because they're the Biz deals, triple Druis, triple Mag. Next up, we have Exceep and Snobios. They're your Arporios search targets, just to continue extending plays. We then have triple Lifeless Leaffish. Additionally, you can use this to send a Nimble Angler, which is, fucking hilarious. So you can start your Spright plays without ever having to, do normal Spright things, which is hilarious. For the Sprites, we are on a pretty standard amount of them. 1 Pixies, triple Jet, 1 Red, 3 Blue, and 1 Carrot. Then for our Nimble Buddies, we have 2 Angler, 3 Beaver, as is standard. And then for our Fishy Friends, we have 2 Paces, 2 Shift, and 2 Zep. For our Spright spells, we of course are playing 1 Smashers, triple Starter, because, you could play Gamma Burst, but why would we? This is just a standard list. Then we're on triple the most distant, deepest depths, because it gets absurd value in searching your Goaties, and it allows you to banish Angler, meaning your Spright plays actually will turn this online, so you can use it to search your Goaties after you've gone through basic Spright stuff. And then triple Imperm, because it's Imperm. It's crazy. It hits tier really hard. It hits rogue decks really hard. It hits everything really hard. It's Imperm. Then for the extra, we have 1 Baron, 1 Chenging, Double Deep Beyond, 1 Dragite, 1 White Aura, 1 Ascon, 1 Gloob Glim. I have no idea how you pronounce this name. 2 Orien Papos, 2 Gigantic, 2 Elf, and 1 Sprint. So yeah, it's a very standard list. It's Spright splashed with Goaty. So with that, let's hop into some games and enjoy the list. So our first match is up against the residential cope that is DDD. They'll start with Kepler, which is a pretty good start. They'll grab Gate, and from here they'll use Gate to grab Griffin. But we're not going to waste our Imperm here. We know that if we just Imperm their Gil, the game is basically over. So they'll use Allure to grab 2 more cards, and they'll banish a copy of Copernicus. From here they'll special Griffin, and then make Gil. They'll use Gil, and we'll just Imperm it, and then they'll make Machinix and pass back to us. They get 2 Sucks, but it doesn't really matter to us. So we'll start by normaling Paces and specialing Jet, and grabbing Starter to continue extending our plays before using Paces to summon out this copy of Snopios. We'll use Snopios to make it so that when Divisor leaves the field it's banished, and then special Red. Red off of Starter, and then make Sprint. We'll clear the Gil with Red by tributing off, send Angler, and continue playing, and our opponent is going to scoop it up because that is full combo right there. So, as you can see, the Spright engine is crazy, and Imperm beats DDD, but additionally, the fact that we can use Paces to get out an additional body that clears Gil and all these other things is fantastic. So, our second match is up against everyone's favorite DM cope, Dark Magician. So, they'll start with pre-prep, they'll add Illusion, they'll Illusion to add Souls, and they'll use Souls to bin a Dark Magician, and then get out their copy of Souls. From here, we don't really care. We haven't drawn any hand traps, which is unfortunate. From here, they'll make the Dark Magicians activate Secret Village, but we don't care because we haven't drawn any spell cards anyways. So, we'll rip Imperm off the top. We don't want them to plus anymore, so we'll Imperm their copy of the Dark Magicians. And then we'll use Leaffish to dump Angler. Angler to grab our 2 copies of Beaver. And then go into this copy of Red. We'll bin a copy of Shift with Sprint. We'll use Gigantic out here to grab Blue. We'll Blue for a copy of course, Jet. We'll run out Red and Jet. And we'll Jet for Smashers. Just because while it's not online, it doesn't matter. We'll make Elf. We'll use Elf to grab back this copy of Angler. We'll use If to banish itself, and then walk over their Dark Magicians, and walk over everything else, and put them on a reasonable amount of life points before passing back to our opponent. But first we're going to Smashers away their Secret Village so that we can have a copy of starter if we need to. They'll use the Dark Magicians. We'll negate with red, but they have a second illusion, which is unfortunate for us. So they'll use illusion again. They'll dump mana. We'll shift here, and then we'll use Elf to bring back. We'll bring back a copy of Beaver before linking it into Arporius. We'll banish a copy of Zep. We'll use Zep to bring back, and we'll trigger Ixie before sinking away for Deep Beyond. We'll Deep Beyond away the entire board, and this will be the end of the game, as they have no more gas. We'll search Snopios, and our opponent will concede. So, for our third game, we're playing up against the brand new, I believe they're Mayakashi. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's the one with the equip spell. So we'll start her for blue. We'll blue for Jet. We'll special Carrot, special Jet. We'll use Jet to grab, of course, Smashers. We'll make Sprint. We'll send Angler. We'll use Angler to grab, of course, Double Beaver. We'll make Gigantic, and then we'll grab a copy of Shift. We'll sync off for Elf. We'll use Elf to bring back Angler before using banishing Shift in order to, and then setting 2 and passing back to our opponent. In the standby, we'll bring back Shift. And from here, our opponent is going to activate Extra. If we don't want them to go too much plus on card advantage, they'll Interrupting Kaiju. We'll just use all of our guys just because before making our Porios, and they'll give us Jizikuru. They'll equip their spell, grab out Nini, and from here they're going to return the Kaiju, special to Kaiju. We'll Druis here in hopes that they don't know what Druis does. But unfortunately they do. They'll beat over our guys. Set 1, pass back. In the end of main, we'll use Shinopes. We'll make it so that when their guy leaves the field, it's banished. They'll try to steal our Druis. We'll Imperm, and then get back Shift. They'll steal Shift again, and from here we're just going to walk over their guy, and we'll get our Shift back and get in for 2,500. We'll make Dragite. We'll Dragite negate, and then set this Imperm that we drew for turn and pass back to our opponent. Our opponent's going to attempt to Interrupting Kaiju Slumber to add another one, and we'll be forced to negate in order to keep our Dragite, and they will concede. So, our final match is up against everyone's favorite deck, of course, Runick. Everyone loves playing against Runick. Actually, Goaty does love playing against Runick. So, they'll start with just the tip. They'll grab their Fountain. They'll drop Fountain on us, and then Smiting Storm for this copy of Munin. And draw 2, and pass back to us. They'll gain 1,000 in the end phase, set 1 and pass. We'll start with Starter, and they'll Judgment, thankfully for us. In the main phase, then we'll run out Paces, special Carrot, and then tag into Leaf Fish. We'll use Leaf Fish to dump Angler. We'll trigger our Angler, and grab ourselves 2 copies of Beaver. From here, we'll make a copy of Sprint. We'll Sprint for Shift, and we'll use Shift to increase the attack of our Leaf Fish. We'll grab out Jet for Smashers. And unfortunately, we can't do anything about this Fountain because of this copy of Munin. We'll Gigantic for blue, and then special red, make Elf, and we'll use Elf to get back this copy of Sprint before making another Gigantic, walking over this Munin, and then getting in for a whole bunch of damage. Unfortunately, it's not enough for Leaf, though, because we don't play Gamma Burst, and Pixies is a little tiny guy, even though I could have summoned it. But we're nice like that. We'll get back our 2 guys, and from here, this is basically going to be the end of the game. Unfortunately, they have Spear Mode for some reason. We'll start with Starter, or we'll grab Jet. We'll Jet for another Starter, and then just walk in to battle. No, but first we're going to make Elf, just in case they have a way to just prevent any damage, because who the hell plays the ball, and I'm very afraid. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos soon enough.